Speaking of the finals, let's go to the NBA Finals. Game 1 between the Spurs and Knicks Wednesday night on ABC, and Mitchell Robinson could be a key X factor for New York as one of the players tasked with defending Victor Wembanyama. Now, Robinson plans to play despite a broken pinky finger and will wear a protective brace there. Meanwhile, San Antonio will be keeping an eye on Wemby after a grueling 7-game series against the Thunder. Victor Wembanyama played nearly 42 minutes in Game 7 against the Thunder and took advantage of every second. That is the most minutes of his NBA career in a non-overtime game. So what is the bigger concern here? Is it Wemby's fatigue or Knicks' lack of depth at the center position? Chene.
To me, it is the Knicks' lack of depth. And I was just sitting here in commercial break thinking, how many players does Victor Wembanyama count as when he's at peak on the floor? At least 2 bigs. You need 2 7-footers to keep that same energy as Victor Wembanyama when we saw him at his peak form in Game 7 versus the Thunder. Why? Because you need to be able to handle him both offensively and defensively. We saw what he did to Isaiah Hartenstein. We saw what he did to Chet Holmgren. Chet Holmgren was an all-star this year. He's all-NBA. He's a defensive type, all-NBA team defensive type of player. And what did he do? He made him look pedestrian. And then you have another player that steps in. You have Jalen Williams, right, off the bench. You have, obviously, Isaiah Hartenstein, who had moments. But over the course of a series, he counts as 2. And so for the Knicks, you know, Mitchell Robinson, if there's one player that could deal with a hand injury, it's him. All he needs to be able to do is catch the ball and control it. If he can do that, they have a shot to at least really, try to slow him down. Mitchell Robinson, top 5 in offensive rebounds in the postseason. He also limits his opponents to 38% shooting from the floor. He is an impact player with his body, with his physique. And so in order to go up against Victor Wembanyama, it's got to be Karl-Anthony Towns and Mitchell Robinson. If it's just one, we've seen what he does with one post player on the floor. He can do battle by himself. He can knock down threes. He can get downhill. He can punch the rim like he did on Chet Holmgren and make you question your purpose in life. And so I think you need 2. You need that depth if you're New York. But Mitchell Robinson, the concerns for his hand is not as bad considering he doesn't really shoot that ball. He doesn't really shoot that thing.
So now you know, the one thing in this world I hate doing is disagreeing with you when it comes to basketball. But damn it, this Monday morning I got to disagree. And I'm going the other way. I'm going with the Wemby fatigue because throughout the course of the conference finals, the games that they lost, the Spurs lost in the conference finals, Wemby looked tired. He looked exhausted. Hell, one could argue he didn't put on performance in Game 7, to be real with you. I believe he had 22 points. That wasn't just, that's an average game in my opinion for Wemby standards. So when you think about what the Knicks do in their offensive set, Wemby got a big and a tall task ahead of him when it comes to guarding Karl-Anthony Towns in this new offense. When it comes to him being that point center, I'm hearing rumors that Wemby may start off on Josh Hart. If that's true, now all of a sudden it becomes a different type of it becomes a different task for him. But I just believe Wemby playing this amount of minutes, going this deep into the postseason, I'm going to be on the lookout to see how he holds up and is he built for it for the long haul. Because I know guys like Jalen Brunson, Karl-Anthony Towns, OG Anunoby, basically the whole Knicks roster, that team went to the conference finals last year. So that team know what it takes to get to make a deep run. I'm just a little concerned about Wemby's fatigue, and he may overcome it and prove me wrong. I'm just waiting to see it.
Perk, first of all, it's important. This is First Take. Don't lie to the American people. Don't do that. You don't have a problem disagreeing with anybody, including Janae. Don't tell that lie. One of the worst things is so difficult for me. I can't stand disagreeing with her. You live to disagree. It's what you do. You understand what I'm saying? That's why you're so marvelous on First Take. Let's stop that lying. You don't have to lie. You don't have to lie to make your point. You live to disagree. That's number one, okay? Number 2.
True.
I'm going to agree. I'm going to agree with the marvelous Janae Ogumike. I'm going to agree with her. She is right about this. The Knicks' depth is what you need to be concerned about. Here's what you missed, Big Perk. The Knicks ranked 27th in pace of play this year. 27th. they're not exactly the team known for pushing the ball up the court. They can do it, but it's not what they live on. And so as a result, you know, when you're going up against OKC and they were like 16th, it's a different animal because they try to push the pace a little bit more than the New York Knicks. With Big Body Brunson and the New York Knicks, they're effective in a half court. They don't mind slowing the ball. And not only that, because of years of leaning on Tom Thibodeau, even though it's changed to a significant degree with Mike Brown being there now and utilizing his depth a little bit more, the fact remains that when you control the pace and you slow it down a little bit, it saves the bodies of those that you're putting on the floor for an exorbitant amount of minutes. It puts you in a position where you can utilize your bench instead of having to absolutely positively use them out of desperation. And that's something that works to your advantage as well. So the New York Knicks might want to push the ball up the court now more so than they did before because of Wemby and what have you. But it's not something we've seen them do ad nauseum. That's the kind of thing we have to pay attention to. And then when you got a big man that's got, the date of the NBA Finals, it'll be 4 games in 23 days. And this brother, not in a game, not in practice, but somehow, some way finds a way to break his damn pinky. Don't even get me started on that. The only reason why you don't see me completely ticked off about it is because when I hear the word pinky, it gets me thinking about my man Ice Cube and the crew in Fridays. That's the only thing that I like about the word pinky, okay? I want to hear a damn pinky, all right? I want to hear that, all right? I'm just so ticked off that that's even a narrative, a discussion. And Diawara, maybe he's going to play a little bit more, whatever. Who knows what Mike Brown's going to do. But the Knicks' depth is a bigger concern because when you've got Wembanyama, okay, you got OG that you could throw out there. Mikal Bridges has very long arms, obviously, and only Chet Holmgren is skinnier than Victor Wembanyama. So you could put Mikal Bridges on him sometimes out on the perimeter and then down low if necessary. You got the Karl Anthony Towns and maybe somebody else, and you got to hope that he's not going to get in foul trouble. But it is a concern. I'm not concerned about Wemby's fatigue as much because the more physical series was the one he just played in. You got some rest coming into the NBA Finals. He's only 22 years of age. They've got home court advantage, and there are no back-to-backs. I would say Knicks' depth is more of an issue than Wemby's fatigue.
Go ahead, Chiney.
And they're the second youngest team to make the NBA Finals, the San Antonio Spurs. And so that works towards their benefit as well.
Youth, momentum on their side, you could argue, playing their best basketball right now.
About momentum.
They got a little momentum. Didn't they just win 2 games in a row?
Knicks got some momentum, too now. Knicks
have been off 9 days. Let's calm down a little bit. All right.
They're chilling. That's what I'm saying. They're chilling.
The Thunder were hobbled, and the